Your daddy works in porno now that mommy's not around. She used to love her heroin, but now she's underground. You stay up late at night and you do your dope for free, driving your friends crazy with your life's insanity. Well, you just can't tell. Well, Mama Jael. Well, you never can tell. Well, Mama Jael. Sowing all your wild oats in another's luxury. Yesterday was Tuesday, maybe Thursday you can sleep. School starts much too early, and this hotel wasn't free. So party till your connection comes, honey, I'll return the key. Well, you just can't tell. Well, Mammy Jael. Well, you never can tell. Well, Mammy Jael. Everyone needs love, you know that it's true. Someday you'll find someone that'll fall in love with you. And all the time it takes when you're all alone. Someday you'll find someone that you can call your own, but till then you better get Welcome to another horrid, despicable episode of the apocalypse. It's too late. It's all bloody over. I'm sorry. I did not choose it. You bloody did. I am just the guy that was activated by your untimely, unwise, horrid, or horrid choice. Your humble guide, Nicholas. Let us begin. And that song is dedicated to the adjudicated criminal Google. For 2 censorships ago, for every 3 to 6 months, my channel gets made useless for 3 to 6 months. So this is a recurring pattern, and eventually there will be no more patterns and I will be gone, just like I am gone from every other website, for I must be a dangerous man. My words. I get what, 800 views on a live stream? Real views? That is too much. I must be a dangerous man. More dangerous than people realize. Not in a physical I'll hurt you way. Oh no. In a paradigm bloody cracking way. Until the Christ returns and bloody breaks the paradigm. I am simply trying to soften it for him. He comes soon. I did not plan on saying that. But 2 censorships ago, the adjudicated criminal Google I had discovered on this same channel with the same 3 views I'm getting now. For I was censored on my channel with 5,000 subscribers, and that was the point, wasn't it? here we are again, and Google, the adjudicated bloody criminal, Google is in court again for nefarious activity. Can you bloody believe it? The one that dares defame me and make moral judgment. An adjudicated criminal. And now they're in court again for the damage they've done to children, allegedly. 2 companies have already settled. I did not know that. TikTok and Snapchat. That says I'm guilty, son. So children were being targeted. I assume the other 2 will be found guilty as well or settle as well. For they most likely employed the same strategy, didn't they? Of course they bloody did. But they'd rather spend the money and waste everyone's time instead of just paying the victims. So again, here we are in Censorship Alley. Not allowed to live stream. Not that I even get many views on that. They make sure of that, son. Don't they? But even that is too much yet again, and my channel is made useless for months. Or forever, I do not know. It is always vagary with the adjudicated criminal. Google. Here we are again there in court, and Mr. Zuckerberg, who I'm sorry it appears like he paid the right to make his last case go away. Literally. Yet he's in court again. Mr. again, moral upright pedophile, who threw me off his website. I find that fascinating. And I am not a pedophile. I have never met Jeff Epstein or been to his island. I am also not a Satanist, in case you were bloody wondering. So here we are again, yet again in Censorship Alley, and Google yet again is in court for some very nefarious shit as they pass judgment upon me and commit crimes in the real world. It's fascinating to watch play out, isn't it? I mean, hell, we have a pedophile, a known, verified pedophile, who sues everyone under the sun for anything except when you call him a pedophile. Then he does not dare. If he can be president, I guess anything is possible. Let us begin. There is a lot. You'll want to watch all of this, and I never say that. We often go weeks now where nothing major happens, and then 97 things happen in one day. We've crossed several serious thresholds. You'll want to pay attention. Starting with this. The first 2 headlines when I wake up, and of course I'm like, I can't fucking believe this. New York Times. UK police arrest former Prince Andrew over Epstein ties. After all these years, they all knew. They nab him. But what is this doing? What is this? This sends a signal to everybody in the Reich and others. We might round some of you up and actually lock you up. Because we don't want to look like the Reich. So a bunch of motherfuckers, since they grabbed Prince Andrew, are going to be shaken a little bit. And it's going to make them more dangerous. I don't really know why they're doing this now, because they could have done this any time. Everyone knew. I mean, this has been known for years. I saw a couple of photos of him with children today. Small children. Not doing anything but they were still very creepy photos, and this some serious shit, man. And honestly, again, I don't know you, I don't care, it has no effect on my life, but I gotta tell you, man, you don't want your name nowhere near these people. Holy fuck, those pictures I saw today. I don't even want to show them. I almost screenshot them, and I was about to post it, and I'm like, you know what? No. Nah. We know what these people have done. I just don't think many of you out there understand the gravity. You'd be madder. You'd be more disgusted. I'm not surprised any of these people are into this stuff. I'm surprised we're seeing it. That's what surprises me. Big shit is happening in our world, people. Top level people. Very top. We talking Rothschilds here. Are being utterly exposed. Do not think there will not be repercussions. It's also being exposed for another purpose, son. It's God testing you. Where's your line at, son? I've given you the speech many times. These are the vilest of vile. And this ain't Alex Jones, and I ain't selling fucking snake oil. This is real, son. Real. You don't want your name anywhere near these fucking people. Donnie, Prince Andrew, none of them. I'd get it off if I were you. Just saying. So that sends a signal that, yeah, we might arrest a few major people in the world. Other countries. You got a lot of people shaking right now. This headline, again, and again, I didn't even make the point. They can arrest Prince Andrew in England. No one arrests Donnie here, and Oz, all of them. It's like spitting in our face to watch England take action, even though it's very late action, and nothing happens here. And then I see this headline right after, and I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. They arrest a major pedophile at the top levels, elite, in England, in the UK. No one arrests Donnie or anyone here, and they're abject pedophiles. All over the Epstein files. Donnie's number one in he's the main character. Not Jeff Epstein. Donnie. No one arrests any of those people or Donnie. Then this, South Korean ex-leader is sentenced to life in prison. Remember, the leader of South Korea tried to stage a coup and become dictator for life like Donnie did. South Korea said, fuck no. They arrested him eventually. He's been in prison. They've had his trial. Life in prison, son. He's lucky he didn't get executed. Donnie staged a coup. We all watched it on television. Years later, he's president. Years later, he's ending America. And he's going to end the world too. I'm not kidding. I don't want it to be true, son. This ain't fun for me. I don't need the glory. I don't need the attention. In fact, I'm tired. I'd rather be doing other things again. Today was real important. That's why I'm talking. And it's going to be a long talk. Maybe 2 parts. I might have to break it in half and do 2 videos. So, the leader of South Korea who staged a coup gets life in fucking prison. Eventually, years later, but still. Legit punishment for the level of the crime. Because if that crime succeeds, then it's dictator for life. That's why it must be punished severely, and it must be punished. Here, we let the guy run for office again. We don't even say, you can't run again. You staged a coup, man. Come on. You really want us to let you run again? Seriously? You're lucky you're not in a fucking prison cell. You're lucky you weren't executed for some, whatever, treason, whatever it's fucking called. Because, son, back in the old days, George Washington days, we all know what would have happened to that guy that staged a coup unsuccessfully. So, two huge headlines. Top elite gets arrested in England by the English authorities. We got a goddamn pedophile #1 person in the Epstein files as president. Nothing happens to him. No arrests, no nothing. South Korean leader who staged a coup, prison for life. Donnie staged a coup. We watched it on TV. Everyone knows what happened. No prison time, no arrest. In fact, he gets to be president again, now for life. I've told you this before. He's not leaving. He will die as king of the world in whatever way, shape he does that, and I have shit about that here. And there will be no more presidents, son. That's over. So he is for life now. However long that lasts. 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 10 years, I don't know. Says they will be thrown living in the lake. The AC and the false prophet. I'm not God. I don't know the perfect way to interpret that, but from my understanding, when I hear that thrown living, it almost sounds like there's a skip in the process and they're grabbed right off the earth somehow and thrown in. Like, okay, everyone's had enough now. I don't know if I've ever heard a description like that before. God really hates these two. Whoever they are, if I'm wrong, right, whatever. I think it's Donnie and Leon, but by the criteria. I've explained all that. I don't have time tonight. I wish I could. One more time and then I'll move on because I was so shocked by this when I first woke up. Prince Andrew arrested by the English authorities when his brother is fucking king. Could have protected this guy the rest of his life. Allowing his brother to face justice. But nothing here. Donnie gets to be president and commit more crimes and ruin America forever. The South Korean leader who staged the coup gets life in prison. Does not get to run again. Donnie got to run again and he gets to be president for life. Now he's never leaving. Quite infuriating or frustrating when I saw those two headlines back to back on the same day. I was like, you got, was this a slap in the face by the devil or something? King Charles III has issued a statement following the arrest of his brother Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. A statement from His Majesty the King. I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew and suspicion of misconduct in public office. I'm shortening a bit. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As the process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. Charles R. King of England's are like, all right, my brother, he did wrong. I got to let it play out. Donnie, how would he handle? That's it. I'm sending the military in. That's how Donnie would have handled it. Note, this is Keith Olbermann. The British arrest the king's brother as part of the investigations into Epstein, and the South Koreans send their former prez to jail for life for trying to overthrow democracy after he attempted a coup for faked election claims. Here, we take no action against Trump. Exactly. Those two headlines were like a slap in the face to all of us. Seth Abramson. Here's a list of all the places Trump is building concentration camps to brutalize non-white men, women, and kids, including many in the U.S. legally and some who are citizens. Most will be sent to die in places they've never been to or to be tortured by Trump's pals. Yes. That's the horror they want for so many of us. Throw you in some foreign nation, they do God knows what to you. I am not fucking kidding. They've shown us this a million fucking times. They send people to Rwanda, son. This ain't no game. They want that terror in your face. That plan is for you as well. You understand that. And then there's the camps they're building, buying, making, here. With your money, of course, always. I'm not going to read the locations. That's not the point. I wanted to read the way he worded it, not the crazy guy in sunglasses on fucking YouTube talking to 3 people. Somebody else with a large following that has something to lose, right? And I don't, right? That's why I'm reading it to you. Most will be sent to die in places they've never been to or to be tortured by Trump pals, right? I always understood these types of things were coming 10 years ago if Donnie was who I thought he was, and he is. Again, that's why I begged and begged you people not to do it. There was a cat out the window, I'm sorry. Cats fascinate me. I have to look. I knew it would be horror, and I knew it would be unspeakable, and I knew it would be evil that people aren't used to seeing. And I knew the rubes didn't understand the terror they were building. Some rubes will face this. They're too dumb to understand that. I do understand that. I always have. That's the lesson you learn from history. Reichs aren't stable, wonderful, exact things. They'll execute a group of people for just a rumor. I'm not kidding. In other words, it doesn't matter if you were down in the beginning. If you get in the way of them going full Reich in any aspect, dead. Shipped to Rwanda, thrown into camp here. I mean, whatever horror you can think of. I knew that was real. There was a real chance of it 10 years ago. Now we're here, man. They this close to doing it to American citizens straight up. And you know Donnie wants to. Next up is the homegrowns. That was all the way back in the Bukele days. One more time. Donnie didn't have Hitler's speeches next to his bed for no fucking reason. It's because he aspired to be Adolf Hitler. I'm not fucking kidding. We got that sick fuck that comes along every once in a while. Like Adolf Hitler. That wants to rule the world, and right now he kinda does. I'm wondering if the world kingdom has already started. With that peace deal and the Board of Peace thing. I don't know when to start the countdown. Does he have to be declared emperor of the world? Because they want the Board of Peace to be the world governing body, technocracy, which means we send anyone in to run your territory, country that we deem is okay. No more elections, no more bullshit like that. We just send in Jared Kushner and he runs it on the ground. Donnie really runs it. You understand what that organization's intent, the way Donnie perceives it. Someone put it into words quite well later on here. People will die in camps in foreign places that they don't know. They've already shipped people to countries they are not from. That's the most evil fucking thing you can do, man. Besides being a pedophile. As this data from NYT shows, this is still Seth Abramson. Trump can already kidnap 31,000 adults and kids at a time, hold them in World War II era concentration camp conditions, before dumping them homeless and penniless in a foreign country where they do not speak the language and do not know anyone. Yes, already been happening. And that was the point, the terror. And those are the lucky prisoners. Many of the inmates, and remember, publicly released data shows about 90% of folks have no violence in their history whatsoever, will be sent to countries run by Trump's friends where they will be caged and tortured purely for sport. Yeah. You'll be a slave, whatever they want to do with you. That is not a fucking exaggeration, son. That's why I'm so tired I can't speak. I'm stumbling on my words, having trouble forming them and reading this to you. Because this, you know what this is, son? Satan. I'm reading to you right now. You best recognize. Caged and tortured purely for sport. That's not a goddamn exaggeration, son. You better understand. You best understand. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here otherwise. That's how goddamn serious it is. Stuff like that will happen, and that. And God knows what else. You'll just be nothing in a foreign nation of people that hate you. Whether you're an illegal, an asylum seeker, a U.S. citizen, whoever you are that gets sent, you're just a fucking slave. They could do whatever they want, and they already have to some people. And that's the point. That's why they pick whatever third world, you know what, will take them. And take the money. And then they got some humans to traffic or do whatever they want. Humans they hate. Do you understand why Donnie's going to go in the lake now? Do you understand why these people deserve no mercy? They will show you none. I promise you. You may see contemptible sadists proudly saying online, I voted for this, but they're lying. Because Trump said he was only going to do it to the worst of the worst. No, they did vote for it, son. As long as it only happens to liberals. Let's be honest here. Seth's given him too much of the benefit of the doubt. I've given him too much as well. When I've seen no evidence to give why I should give that benefit of the doubt. I've heard this rhetoric against people they don't like forever. And they want to act on it. Some people might critique people, say bad things about people of other races, sexual identities, what the fuck ever. But do they support the persecution of them? That's the real question, isn't it? That's where the line is crossed. Honestly, the people of the right have no problem seeing the people they don't like being subjugated, murdered, gassed, exterminated, shot. Let's be honest, son. That's what they've always wanted. Now they're doing it. And it wasn't the liberals, son. Again, it was you. Andrew Wortman, the guy who exposed J.D. Vance as a fucking pedophile. Leon didn't name the most recent Grok 4.20 because he likes weed. He named it that because it's Hitler's birthday. Dude is the most blatant Nazi the world has ever seen. Yes, Mr. Wortman, I agree. And you know why I agree? Not just the Nazi haircuts and the eugenics talk and the white supremacist talk. That right there, that's kind of obvious, ain't it, son? I would say so. Leon's Nazi salute. Anyway, oh, this cokehead. Look at this guy. He's got a white t-shirt on. His hair's just fucked up. He looks like he just came from Skid fucking Row or something. Gacked the fuck up on coke. He's throwing his arms out in front of him in the air as if that makes him some executive genius. No, it makes you a cokehead, dude. So again, we've got another video where this guy was gacked the fuck up, looked like he just rolled out of bed, threw a t-shirt on, getting billions in welfare year money as if he deserves it. And he was all gacked up in this video, arms coming out like this. I talked about it the other day. I'm like, what is he doing? What the fuck are you doing? If I was in that boardroom, I'd be like, dude, could you stop with like the arm thing? Could you lay off the coke maybe till after the meeting? You fucking freak. My God. So let this person break it down for you so you truly understand the horror. This is not a mental patient. This is Palantir CEO Alex Karp, who has all of our data, a multi-billion-dollar contract with the Trump regime to use it against us. ICE uses his facial recognition tech to decide who to murder and abduct. Be afraid, be very afraid. Yes, look at this cokehead. Yes, be very fucking afraid, yes. He's the one that had the clip, when I read it to you the other day, he talked about sometimes his technology kills people. And that's when he was throwing his arms up in the air. You know, saying it just so matter-of-fact and in a kind of just wonderful, it's great way. Because he's gacked up on coke. Because he ain't got shit to worry about like you and me. He just gets billions in a truck that just shows up at his house of your money. So he don't got to worry about the bills or whatever. He can just roll out of bed, hit a few bumps, you know, never mind coffee like you and me. Just go right to the coke. That's this fucking guy. Can't even wait till the meeting's over before he's fucking doing rails and shit. Gacked out of his fucking mind on coke, and it was obvious with the fucking arms and the whole spastic fucking shit he was doing. Again. Second time, second video. And he's talking about his technology killing people. Everything that person just said that I just read to you should fucking horrify you. That this person, this fucking cokehead, has all your info and will use it against you. And talks about sending drones to spray people with things. I told you AI and drones would police us. They would use that, right? He talked about it openly. That's the way these fucking people think. That was the plan way back. When Ukraine proved the effectiveness of drones even against one man. Changed our world forever. Hand in hand with AI. You don't need a robot. You don't need no complex machine. A little machine with some fucking propellers on it. AI's the brain that can be broadcast to any piece of equipment that has a computer inside of it. Like a drone. And it just drops a little bomb, shoots a little missile, whatever. Maybe sprays you with something like Mr. Karp said. That must mean they plan on having spray drones spray people with God knows what. They reveal the plan when they say things like that. I told you way back early first term. Excuse me. First year of this term. AI and drones will be used hand in hand to police us. I explained to you how they have perfected drones to the point they can come in a house, break a window, find one man on the street anywhere. Very hard to get away from something that can fly, right, son? Right. That's why it's way better than a Terminator robot that you can knock over with your car or a baseball bat. These things are being built in the fucking millions. That's the plan. That's why Cocaine Carp said it out loud. That's the thought process of these sick fucks. AI and drones subjugate the masses. You don't need men. You don't need loyalty. You just need an AI that will do it, can flip the switch when someone gets uppity. I told you this again back January 1st year of this term. Last year. Donnie's at the podium at the Board of Peace meeting. Look, the Board of Peace in the background on the blue. I don't know what building this was at. World leaders that are members, and Donnie, and my God, the things he said. I'm going to pause this for a moment before I go into the next thing. I need to take a break. Okay, I'm back. That was quick, wasn't it? Okay, Trump at the podium, Board of Peace. It's always nice to be young and handsome. Doesn't mean we have to like you. I don't like young, handsome men. Women, I like. Men, I don't have any interest. Good. That's right. That's right. And again, if you want more context, it's only going to get worse. Let's move. There's a lot. Stop using ChatGPT. That's Sam Altman's AI. Breaking. OpenAI caught harvesting facial data and everything they can to deliver it straight to ICE and Palantir. Look, all the social media and AI companies have our shit, and they passing it around. Whatever the Reich needs, they gonna get. Why? Because the Reich is passing out checks. That's why. Giving welfare. That's why. The social media companies have already turned your shit over. If you've critiqued the Reich, I guarantee my shit got turned. Oh my God. I'm hoping there's a class action in the future. I would gladly join it because I'm positive my shit got shared. And I did not give permission, and it was illegal to ask. Before they get to full Reich, I would love that class action to happen, and I'd love to join, and I think it would be a winner. It's got to be before they go full Reich, though. Not that much time left. Around the midterms. So, this person advises to stop using Altman's AI. I've never used it. The only thing I use AI for is to make pictures as thumbnails. That's it. I'm not asking AI to do reports for me, do research. If I search something and the AI gives me a breakdown, yeah, I look at it. Do I take it as gospel? No, I look at other shit too. So that person advises to stop using Altman's AI. I've never used it, so whatever you want to do. Sharing your shit, just like Google, just like Meta, just like everybody. Jared Kushner, moments after claiming that nobody is personally profiting from the Board of Peace. We've secured over $7 billion. They will tell any damn lie. Would Jared fucking Kushner be anywhere on camera, anywhere near any of this if there wasn't a lot of money in it for him? Of course he wouldn't. We didn't really hear his name till Gaza was already ash and they were about to build. That's when Jared was all of a sudden back on the fucking scene. What does that mean? That means Jared is there for the goddamn money. The audacity of this person or these people to stand there and say, we're not doing this for money. We're not going to gain any wealth out of this. Come on, man. Jared wouldn't be there otherwise, son. Only reason he came back in the picture. And this is what he looks like. And again, it's a Board of Peace meeting, and Jared's the Holy Land man on the ground. So Jared has described Gaza as a real estate deal. So has Donnie several times over the years. We've heard the comments. We've heard the quotes. We all know what they're about. They're about doing the real estate deal and making billions on it. That's what they're about. And that's what they're doing. And much more. A temple will be built. Like I said, an army base is being put in where they're bringing soldiers from all different countries. I'll get to it. I'm telling you, you need to watch all this just today. We've crossed thresholds, son. Jared says no one's profiting. Right before he says we've secured $7 billion. Part of the Board of Peace that runs the Holy Land now. U.S. President's atop of it, in charge. Did you hear what I just said to you? None of that is normal. None of that ever happened before. Not even close. Son, there would have been riots across the fucking world. There aren't riots across the world. You know what that is, son? If I take it all the way to the top, you know what that is? That's the devil, son. That's the blessing. That's all that. Keeping it quiet. Letting it happen. Vlad letting it happen. Someone gave Donnie a note. I thought when I saw this note, I'm excited to announce that Norway, I thought they were going to say they're giving me the Nobel Prize. Oh, this is less exciting, but I don't care. I don't care about Nobel Prize. That's why he still brings it up to this day after he stole that woman's Nobel Prize. Told her, fuck off, honey. Thanks for dropping it off. You're not going to be the leader. Sorry. See you later. As he's building concentration camps here, as he's already sent people to camps, some camps you never leave, horrid third world countries where people are not from, mass murder down the Caribbean, annexed the whole country, stole their oil, deployed our military against us, deployed a mass secret police against us, immune to prosecution, that have now murdered 2 citizens, tried to murder a third, and I'm sure those numbers are higher. Not even the slightest attempted murder charge against any of these people. And he dares speak of the Nobel. He still wants it. It's amazing. Amazing. But I don't care. But yeah, that's why you talk about it like every day, Donnie, right? You've been talking about it for years. You had that woman come all the way here and hand her Nobel to you, right? Right, Donnie? And you had to make up a couple fake peace prizes from the soccer people and the Board of Peace. This is so demented, twisted, backwards, inverted. It's so the devil. Have you ever heard of an American president being in charge of the Holy Land atop a Board of Peace, asking people $1 billion membership fee that he's in charge of? And it gets worse, son. Again, you need to watch all this tonight. You think I feel like being on here for 2-3 hours, whatever it's going to take? I don't. You need to watch all this. Take this all in. These Epstein emails contain serious allegations about Trump raping minors. Yes, these came out the other day. People noticed them. They were posting them. These Epstein emails have been deleted from the DOJ website. You can find them on Gmail. They archived it. I'm not going to read you the emails. The other day I saw these emails were noticed because, again, these are millions of pages people are going through finding things. Takes time. This is about, I don't know, the 3rd or 4th time I've heard of the Reich literally files they put up for people to see, must have slipped through, have been then taken down. That's, again, how blatant this cover-up is. Why? Because Donnie's a pedophile. That's why. Unbelievable. Trump on FIFA. They gave me their first peace prize. They gave me a peace prize. I think they saw that I got screwed by Norway. Can you... The American president up there say, after he got a fake peace prize from the soccer people, up there saying he got screwed by Norway because they didn't choose him to give the peace prize. Again, no one loves honoring themselves more than Donnie. That's why Donnie is the perfect candidate for the Antichrist and the devil's favorite. A goddamn one-bedroom apartment's $2,000, son. And we got this cunt up here talking about peace prizes. In between grifts and murders, as he tries to hide his pedophilia with his buddy Jeff. Again, son, if you got your name on this in any way, shape, or form, I suggest you get it off. And I get nothing out of you getting your name off of this. Yet I'm warning you anyway. I'm telling you anyway, even though you don't want to hear a word I say. Not like any of you will see this, but whatever. I still must say it. Why would I do that unless I'm really concerned about where you going? And I'm trying to point you in a different direction. Not that I'll ever know you, meet you. Does nothing for me, son. Absolutely nothing. Donnie got screwed by Norway. He said that out loud. That's after he stole the peace prize from the girl that won it. New banner went up at DOJ headquarters this afternoon. Can you believe it, son? Again, all the things I read when I read the book of Revelation and the end times prophecies in the Bible and the various sections of the Bible, I imagined a person like Adolf Hitler, just like this. This isn't the first time we've got an image of Donnie going up on buildings, just like Adolf, Vlad, Kim Jong, Xi. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not Hitler-y at all, right? Not Xi, not Putin, not Kim Jong-un. No, not at all, right? Totally normal. I just remembered now. I can't wait till the gold statues of him go up on the Holy Land. That's going to really seal the deal for me, son. A gold statue of a living U.S. president while he's president as he sits atop the board of peace. Son, if I see that temple, forget about it. It's granite then. If that temple gets built, and it will, granted that it's the end. One more time, take a look at this. This is going to become more commonplace. Donnie wants everything named after him. He wants every title, every trophy. He wants his picture on everything. Why? Because he's the Antichrist. No one loves praise more than Donnie. No one loves praising himself more than Donnie. No one loves worship, son, more than Donnie. He's the perfect candidate. His psyche needs it. It drives him insane every day that there are people saying negative things and getting away with it about him on a minutely basis that he can't execute, throw in jail, throw in a camp. I am fucking not kidding you. Of course, he wouldn't do any of that himself. He would have other stronger men do that. Like all cowards. This is the proof of what I'm saying again. Pure dictator. Pure Hitler. Those are the type of people that do that. And this ain't the first government building, son, or building. You know where it's going. This is where it's going. Pure Hitler. Again, he didn't have them speeches next to his bed for nothing, son. Hitler's speeches. That's someone who's dreaming of something, and he's showing us now. Okay, the case that Google and Meta are still defendants in. Again, here I am censored. Google's fucking, the adjudicated criminal Google is now in court for some more nefarious shit against children. And of course, Zuck right there with him. Zuck the pedo. Zuckerberg defends Meta in landmark social media addiction trial. That's the BBC. Zuckerberg, the boss of Instagram owner, Meta Platforms, struggled in court Wednesday to defend his firm from claims it targeted young users as he was confronted with internal documents on its practices. He maintained that lawyers were mischaracterizing the communications. I'm sure, Zuck. I'm sure. And you mischaracterized my communications when you threw me off your website, which were presented as part of a landmark trial in Los Angeles over whether social media platforms like Instagram are addictive for children. Come on. The real question is, were they behind the scenes having meetings about how do we addict children? That's the real question that would make it nefarious for me. And they were. If it just became addicted to children, all right, maybe that's not their fault. No, when you're having strategy to try and do that, and they were. And you know what? Before I read this, let me just tell this quick story again about this girl. I said in the other video, I've seen her on camera, and it's tragic that she's allowed to still broadcast. It's tragic that her family is taking advantage of this situation and allowing her to do it as well. This girl does not eat, and she promotes that. She weighs about 60 pounds. Last time I saw her, I don't know what happened since, son. Her family allows all this. Why? Because she makes money on social media. Millions of people know who she is. So it's an income for a family. That's why they allow it. The girl obviously needs the attention, needs the positive reinforcement, but she's promoting something that's deadly for human beings, not eating at all. And she's dying. My God. Again, last time I looked, I don't know what happened since. The social media platforms are allowing her to go on and continue this addiction, obviously. She's being rewarded with money, exposure, fans, as she kills herself, literally, for no reason. I'm not talking about when the mark comes out and you can't participate unless you want to worship the devil. That's not what I'm talking about. This is allowed to continue because she obviously draws an audience, so the website loves that. She gets rewarded with money. Her family gets rewarded with money. It's all allowed to continue. That fits perfectly into this right here. I can't broadcast live. That starving girl can, though. Amazing. Amazing. It was Zuckerberg's first appearance before a jury after years of rising backlash against Meta, which also owns WhatsApp and Facebook. The trial in which Google's YouTube is also a defendant. That's the adjudicated criminal Google. Let's be clear here. Is also a defendant, is being closely watched for its implications for thousands of similar lawsuits. TikTok and Snapchat, I didn't know this part, also named in the lawsuit, settled shortly before trial was scheduled to begin. Terms of the settlements were not disclosed. That's because they were guilty. Otherwise, they wouldn't settle. So what does that tell you about the other two? It doesn't bode well, does it? When one is trying to judge the adjudicated criminal Google or Meta. If the other two straight up settle, because that's how bad it would have looked, and it would have been way worse if it went through the court process. The judgment, I mean. So TikTok and Snapchat folded and admitted guilt. I don't care if the terms weren't disclosed. I know what a settlement means from a major corporation. That's all I need to see, son. Meta repeatedly maintained that the company has taken action to protect young users and bars people under the age of 13. Wow, how nice of you, Zuck. But in court, Mark Lanier, the lawyer for the lead plaintiff in the case, known by her initials KGM, repeatedly presented internal emails, messages, and research showing Zuckerberg and other Meta employees discussing usage of Instagram and Facebook by teenagers and younger. One email, 2019, sent to Zuck and 3 top Meta executives, took issue with the company's unenforced age limitations. Unenforced, you say? So is Zuck bullshitting? Sounds like he is. That made it difficult to claim we're doing all we can, according to the email from Nick Clegg. Well, yeah, who worked as Meta's head of global affairs for several years after the former Liberal Democrat MP served as the UK's deputy prime minister. I don't care if they're a Liberal or Democrat. I care what the email and the warning said, the internal email that we were meant never to see. That's all that matters to me. Lanier asked Zuckerberg about a 2019 research report from an outside company done on behalf of Instagram, which found that teens using the platform felt hooked despite how it makes them feel. A lot of people, especially women, I've noticed over the years, have made statements like social media really makes me feel bad. I think as humans in general, when you don't understand the beast and how it works behind the scenes, social media, why certain people have 9 million followers and you have none, how it all works, the fakeness, it's just like Hollywood, son. Fake as fuck. But people see that every day. They see these big accounts. They want to be like that. They'll never get there because they won't do the shady things you need to do to get there. And it makes them feel bad. Or maybe they don't look like that perfect person on social media and it makes them feel bad. So there's kind of this general, for a lot of humans that experience social media, they feel inferior to a lot of things and people. I get that. You have to understand the fakeness to the machine and you'll feel way less inferior. It won't bother you anymore. Let me continue. I'm taking too much time here. So teens were saying that in a study that, I'm hooked despite the fact it makes me feel bad. Adding that teen users had an addict's narrative about their Instagram use. It can make them feel good. It can make them feel bad. They wish they could spend less time caring about it. The report said, right, they're addicted. That's what being addicted is. Right there. Doesn't have to be a drug. Some people are addicted to gambling. They just have to gamble. They need that rush. Same thing with social media for a lot of people. These teenagers are saying it in a study. They're admitting it. Zuckerberg noted that the research was not conducted inside Meta, so when Paul Schmidt, Meta's lawyer, questioned Zuck on the same report, he said that it also mentioned positive aspects of Instagram use that came from the research. Schmidt positioned the report as part of Meta's ongoing efforts to conduct research on how its platforms are used and continuously improve them. Another presentation from 2018 showed the firm discussing the successful retention of tweens on the platform, despite the company's claims that such users were not allowed. Zuck said he always regretted not making faster progress to identify users under 13, but he believed the company had reached the right place over time. No, Zuck, you just like the numbers. Get the fuck out of here. He noted that teen users represented less than 1% of ad revenue for the company and accused Lanier of taking the tween document out of context. How do you take that out of context? You're commenting on retention of tweens, which aren't even supposed to be on your goddamn website. What are you talking about? Why are you trying to retain them at all, you crack dealer? Get them hooked. Zuck said his company had various discussions about building versions of its products that could be used by children under 13 in a regulated way. I can't wait to see what Mr. Sundar, whoever's going to go in for Google and YouTube and give testimony. I can't wait to read that to you. That'll be fun. Zuck said his company had various discussions about building versions of its products that could be used by children under 13 in a regulated way. Well, Zuck, that's the problem. We don't want this in children's faces. They get addicted. He pointed to his company's Messenger Kids service, which he said was not very popular, but that he uses it with my own kids. Zuck and his wife Priscilla Chan have 3 children. You're mischaracterizing what I'm saying, Zuck added. I'm not surprised that people internally were studying this. Yeah, I'm not surprised either, Zuck. You're a crack dealer, man. I'm not kidding. It just isn't drugs, that's all. You're hanging out with Epstein. You're fucking getting kids addicted to crack and shit, metaphorically. Lanier also confronted Zuckerberg about efforts to get teens to use the platform. He presented emails from Zuck as well as other internal messages in which employees discussed in clear terms teen usage and how to increase it. Uh-oh. I don't know. Zuck's looking like a straight-up liar here. This ain't looking good, Zuck. You're a pedo last week. Now you're this. Getting kids, again, addicted to crack metaphorically. What the fuck you doing? A separate 2017 email from an executive stated that Mark has decided that top priority for the company is teens. Uh-oh, Zuck. Why, because you're a pedo? Or a crack dealer, or both? Zuck said that at an earlier point in the company, he gave executives goals to increase time spent, but insisted that was no longer how the company operated. But you said it, son. Now you're saying now we don't operate like that, but the emails say otherwise. Damn, Zuck looking like a liar with each point, like worse and worse. My God, this is bad. Under Schmidt's questioning, Zuck explained that had Meta only focused on metrics like time spent on its platforms, they would not have lasted this many years. What's that got to do with it? We're talking about specific. You're trying to increase teen usage, and that's a problem. We don't want teens on there more. We want them on there less. They're addicted. That's the whole problem, asshole. And you're having strategy sessions on how to keep them addicted, get them more addicted. That's what the whole case is about. And he's admitting it, basically. Oh, but we don't operate that way now that we're in court, Your Honor. I wouldn't be liking that argument if I was a judge. And if I was a jury member, forget about it. Yeah, they're guilty. Yeah. The email, son. Once you get to see inside these companies, forget about it. You find all the crimes, you find all the bullshit. And I'm not even talking about what kind of sex they into. That's not even what I mean. I'm talking about shit like that. Strategy meetings on how to get kids addicted to crack, metaphorically. That's what I'm talking about. What the literal whole case is about is Zuck, as they're reading the emails that prove the whole case, Zuck, his only defense is, well, we don't do it anymore. How do we know that, asshole? Zuck noted that he'd worked for years to address problematic use of platforms like Instagram because it's the right thing to do. It doesn't sound like it from the email, son. Schmidt referenced Instagram tools released in 2018 that allow an Instagram user to set up daily use limits, alert for time spent, and turn off notifications at night. A kid ain't going to use that. A parent might. Lanier later pointed to an internal Meta document that showed how scarcely teens had elected to use these tools. Only 1.1% of teen users use these limiting tools. Of course. They don't even know the dangers of it. They don't know the world before this. I remember my two young cousins. They were small children at the time. This was years ago. And I remember the parents, my aunt and uncle, they had to constantly be telling, you got to put the phone down, the whatever pad, whatever they were, always on the computer, man, always on the pad or the fucking phone as a small child. That's how ingrained already it was. Parents had to limit usage. I'm talking 10 years ago? 15? We're like 15. That's how bad it was already. Look at where we at now. So I'm sorry, the limiting usage tool thing, yeah, that's not really swaying my opinion either. Were I on the jury? It sounds like Zuck did everything that his company did everything that they're alleging, actually. That's big. I wanted you to know where Google and Meta are at as they throw me and you off their platform, say what we can and can't say, pretend to be morally upright. Zuck's a fucking pedo, hanging out with Epstein. Now we read the internal emails. Yes, they were literally thinking, strategizing, how do we keep young teens on here more? Make it crack. I assume Google was having the same type of strategy meetings. How do we do this? How do we keep people addicted? Maybe I'll be proven wrong. But Google's already an adjudicated criminal for monopolistic practices, so. Wouldn't be the first time they did some nefarious shit and got the gavel for it. This is bad, son. Do you know what this is, son? And you know what? Before I do this, I'm going to stop this video because it's already over an hour long and I got to upload it. So I'll do this in part 2. You need to watch part 1 and 2. You need to take in all this. I might not even do a video tomorrow because everything happened today, son. So I want you to know where Google and Meta are at, and I'll end this here, and we'll start with the next piece of news in part 2. Google and Meta are nefarious entities in court right now, again. And the only reason they didn't get gavelled guilty last time is because it appears he made the case go away by paying the Reich. Yet he's back in court again. And so is Google. The one that tells me I'm doing things wrong. Isn't that funny? I never been in a courtroom, son. Except for traffic tickets. How's about you? That hurls the defamatory accusations. Because that's all they got. That's where they at. That's where they at, Google and Meta, in court for some nefarious ass shit targeting children. But I can't broadcast. The adjudicated criminal says so. Part 2 coming up.